Hello. I hope I'm live. The little light at the top of my screen says I am, so let's hope that I really am. Um, if anybody who is maybe out there watching could let me know that you can hear and see me, I would appreciate that. Go ahead and pop your comments or whatever in the chat. Let me just kind of talk through a few minutes here until everybody joins or whomever is going to join can join. Excuse me. It was such a beautiful day here today that we decided, my husband Tom and I decided to take a ride. So some of you know already that we are looking to sell the house and move someplace. So I went to go pick up some boxes. And of course, then we ended up walking around Ollie's. Does anybody have an Ollie's? I mean, Ollie's is like this big, huge warehouse kind of a store of discounted products. So like closeouts, and I don't even know where they get all their stuff from, but it's all really reasonably priced. And we usually like to get the dog her treats from there. So, excuse me, I'm trying to watch comments here as they may be coming in as well. But so we try to get the dog's treats from there just because they're so much cheaper. And I don't know, my dog was out of breath today. I sent her for a tennis ball like 2 times and she came back just panting. I said, man, we're all out of shape, aren't we, after the winter? Before we get started, I want to let you know that there is, if you missed the March class registration, there is still some availability, but contact me directly to find out which class I have availability in if you're coming to the online class, or I'm sorry, to the in-person class. I potentially could take some virtual classes participants as well, but I do have availability for sure in the in-person class for March. What day is it? March 16th. There's a 1 o'clock class and a 6 o'clock class. And I also, so next week, Wednesday, a week from today, I will be opening the registration then for the April class. So the way that I have kind of transitioned things for the new year was to register the month before, by the end of the month, for the next month's class. That gives me time to make sure I have all the supplies and get them all cut for everybody. And it just helps with planning is really what it is. And I'm an overthinker, but I'm a planner for sure. Okay, so let's get started. Thank you for joining me. The only one rule that there is that there's no stress. Don't stress about it. Your card or whatever you do is going to look fine. It's yours. If you don't want to share it with anybody because you don't like it, then you don't have to, although I hope you do. It won't look the same as mine. Everybody's going to be using different colors and different designer series paper is in this particular one. I even cut mine today too, so I'm going to be crafting along with you. I'm hoping that maybe it'll help me get a feel for how long before in between page turns or, clues as we go. So what else? I think I mentioned already to put your comments or questions in the chat. I may or may not answer them depending on what your question is, because I'm not going to give you more than what the clue tells you to do. So if you ask specific questions that is going to maybe ruin the surprise at the end, then I'm probably not going to answer that. But go ahead and ask anyway. If you are, wow, my voice is lots of clearing of the throat. Sorry about that. If you're catching the replay, go ahead and type replay in the comments. We'd love to have you too. And I appreciate that you're here. And I don't stress if you're with me live. Don't stress about, like I said at the beginning, no stress. That's the only rule. But don't worry about keeping up. If I end up flipping through the clues faster than what you're able to do, which hopefully tonight won't be the case for sure, because I tried to make this one so super simple. But if in fact you aren't keeping up because you're maybe a slower stamper, that's okay. Go back and watch the replay. And that way you can start it and stop it and start it and stop it. Just sit and chat with me on the chat, and maybe just throw your hands up for now and come back later and do it. So no stress. Don't stress out. It's supposed to be fun. The Facebook will keep this live as a recording when we're finished for like 30 days. But then you could also find it after that on YouTube. So go ahead and you'll be able to, if you're watching replay or whatever, to start it and stop it, and that'll be helpful. Okay, so you should have, let's move to, see if I can push the right button. Of course not. This one. There we go. That's the right button. All right, so I moved myself to the side a little bit, and you should be looking at clue number 1, which you already should have and you should be prepared for. So let's move on then to clue number 2. All right. Clue number 2 says emboss, which is optional, your 3 3/4 by 5 inch card stack. So your colored card stack that is coordinated. Go ahead and emboss that first, and then adhere it to your card base, to the front of your card base. I don't think I needed to specify that, but I'm going to work along with you here. So here we go. Embossing. And all right, I have mine. Got my, what's your favorite glue? The liquid glue is my favorite. Go ahead and fold. It didn't say, one of the clues is not to, yeah, I did not add it as a clue that you're supposed to score and fold your card base, but we're just going to go with this. So let's glue this together. And we're adding it right to the front. Okay. Give you a minute in case you had to run across the room, which is what I usually have to do, run across the room to use the cut and emboss machine. But I put it right here next to me just for this. It doesn't give me a lot of elbow room though. So. Okay. Are we ready for the next clue? Clue number 3. All right, here we go. Adhere your 1 1/4 by 4 1/4 inch cardstock to your card front. And I'm not going to tell you where. Oops, I need a little more glue on mine. I always say that the more, it requires a little bit more liquid glue or adhesive in general, I think, when you're trying to stick something that has the texture to it. So after we emboss this, of course, on the back of my embossed piece, I added a little bit more glue too. But now this piece of cardstock that I'm adding to the top of my embossed cardstock, I added extra glue too. I usually don't use a lot of glue, but if I have to add it to texture, then I certainly do. All right. Okay, are you ready? Let's go with clue number 4. Adhere the 2 by 4 piece of DSP to your card front. Again, it doesn't matter. Maybe yours is vertical and maybe it's horizontal, your whole card. So I haven't started using any dimensionals or anything yet. And some of you don't like to use dimensionals anyway, so it's all fine. But at this point, I haven't used any dimensionals yet. Okay. Are we good with that then? That was just gluing a piece on. So let's move on to clue number 5. Stamp your greeting on your 2x2-ish size, whatever you chose to use. So your greeting's going to go on that. I think I left it at being, I have to look at my notes here, that you could use it, cardstock or designer series paper. And I wrote on there that it was going to be for a greeting. So go ahead and grab whatever coordinating ink you're choosing to use. And a stamp. Ink it up. If you prefer to punch it first, I suppose you could do that too. I usually like to punch it after if I can, sometimes not, but I'm using this little itty bitty scrap of DSP for mine, and it's barely big enough to fit. So in my punch, I'm using a circle punch, but I'm trying to get it centered in there, and it's just a little 2x2 piece in my punch. I'm using a 1 7/8 inch punch on mine. I guess that's going to be good enough. So yeah, it was close. All right. You can also, while you have your ink out, if you want to stamp on the inside of your card, that would be fine as well. I did not bring a chamois. Darn. All right. If you're going to put some ribbon on it, this is a long clue, isn't it? If you're going to put some ribbon on it, go ahead and do that now. Like on the back of the greeting itself. That's kind of what I was doing, is putting a little ribbon, or I'm using baker's twine, but you can use whatever if you're doing something on the back side of your ribbon, but you don't have to. I'm doing it on mine, which then just gives you more time to figure out what you like. All right. And then we're going to adhere the greeting to our card front with dimensionals. Again, if you're not a person who likes to use dimensionals, then don't. It's okay. No stress. I've got just this little bit of dimensionals left. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see me that well because I made myself small, but all right. So we're going to put, when I'm doing a circle, I like to put three dimensionals in like a triangle shape on mine. And then these things get all over the floor. Okay. Oops. All right. Mine's done. Okay, next, let's see. Clue number 6. If you want to add any other embellishments, now is the time to do that. If you had some little sequins or anything like that that you want to add on, some gems or I've opted out of those because usually I only end up using either like a ribbon or baker's twine, or I use like the gems, and I usually don't use both on the same card. I don't know why. I guess because I'm more of a simple kind of a stamper, and so I just don't. So anyway, I'll leave you time to put some other embellishments on if you wish. And then let's see, let's get to number 7. We're done. Take a photo and post it as a comment to the Facebook post. So when the video ends, the live video ends, then it'll stay on Facebook. So just go ahead and post your picture of your card as a comment, and then we can all kind of look as we finish them and see what everybody else did. You want to see what mine looks like? You sure? All right. Can you see it? Can you see all of it? Hope this isn't a spoiler alert, but there you go. All right. I probably will take a photo and add it as a comment to this as well. Okay, so use this template, if you will, or a sketch, if you will. Go ahead and make several of these. Use different colors. Pick what I usually like to tell people is to pick your DSP first. And I don't have mine here. On the back of your pack of designer series paper, if you're using the Stampin' Up! Brand, it will tell you all of the colors that are in there, all the colors that they use. So, and of course with Stampin' Up! Everything is coordinating. So the back of my, like the little cardstock piece, cardboard piece, whatever they call that stuff, that is like the backer that holds it a little bit stiffer so it doesn't bend and crinkle. That has like every single name of the cardstock colors that are in there. So for example, I know this one has Lost Lagoon in it. It's got Pretty Peacock in it. It's got Highland Heather. The DSP that I used was called Perennial Lavender. I have to bring my notes over here. I ended up getting this at a stamping event that I went to over the summer last year, and I had just a few pieces left, but I didn't want to throw them out. So this worked perfectly because I had just the right piece. And actually, if you could tell, my piece was longer. It was like 6 inches long. And so I cut off, I don't know if it was the top or the bottom now, but I cut off the 2-inch piece off the top of this. It was 2 by 6, and I cut off the top of it. And then I used the back side of this DSP for my greeting. So that was easy. So yeah, my card consists of a basic beige card base. Lost Lagoon was the layer that I added with the embossing folder, and then Highland Heather is the color purple that I had my strip that went across the front, and then I used Pretty Peacock ink. So, all right then. But yeah, I made a couple of these during the day today. After I cut the paper for this one, I thought, oh, this is such a cool little sketch. I'm going to make some more. And so I made several different ones for Mother's Day and Father's Day and the things that are coming up. And it's a pretty simple thing. So go ahead, mark your calendars for next month. Next month, the mystery stamping is on April 8th. I know it's not the April 1st is a Wednesday, which is technically the first Wednesday of the month. But because it's the very first day of the month, I didn't think I was going to be ready. So I'm going to shift. There's enough weeks that I can shift everything down just a little bit. And so I hope that you will join me for another one on April 8th. We're going to stick with the 7 o'clock. I haven't heard many comments one way or another if you liked the earlier in the day or the evening option. So for the time being, we're going to keep it at 7 o'clock. Until next month. Talk to you later.